I was drawn to the terror of not being good enough to do it.
I'm not a professional musician, so I often be like, oh my God, I don't really know what I'm doing here.
There was a lot of pressure.
You can't do Amadeus without making the music shine.
How are we going to get all these musicians in? Is anyone going to set fire to the bow from the candles?
There's something sort of terrifying about it.
The really big ambition in this when we started was not just making a big costume drama set in the 18th century, but actually bringing to life 5 operas.
The opera sequences were absolute monsters to direct and to coordinate.
We've had to design the sets, cast real opera singers and real musicians to be in the orchestra pit.
And then filming it with your characters within it was absolutely huge.
We held nothing back.
The music obviously is incredible. Morgan Kennedy's set design is incredible. Lisa Duncan's costumes, absolutely extraordinary. Ricky Langham's hair and makeup, amazing. And then we have Ben Holder and Guy Roberts, who are part of bringing together all the musicians. It's an absolute feat of both organisation and creative brilliance.
Team, are there any spare copies? Any left over? I'd like us to listen to what we're going to sing along with tomorrow night. Today we've been rehearsing the first movement of Mozart's Great Mass in C minor. In our series, it comes at a really crucial point narratively. Mozart and Constanze have lost their baby Raymond. It's sort of both enormously epic for everybody, and we have a big orchestra and a big choir, but it also represents something incredibly intimate between Amadeus and Constanze.
There was a moment that I had in the Mass where I went, okay. Will was next to me. We weren't facing each other, and I could feel Will getting like really emotional. I could feel his energy here, and I had goosebumps. That was the moment where I went, that's Mozart's way of conveying how he feels. There's this whole thing in the show where he can't really express how he feels to Constanze, and I was so overwhelmed. Music is a way of communicating when you don't have any words, like when words fail you.
I'm about to say stuff that makes me sound utterly insane. I found myself thinking of Mozart, I suppose. Would this get his blessing? And what was he trying to say with this? And entering into the basilica on the day that we shot the Mass, it's somehow, how I'd imagined it in my head, it's sort of even grander. Thankfully, my back is to most of the room, so I could sort of just concentrate on the musicians.
On all of the operas, it is some of the most moving music that you're likely to hear, and the staging was beautiful. Boy, is there a lot of opera in this. And to make that not feel dry is quite a feat. It was very helpful for me that it was so well accomplished and choreographed and directed.
Music like this had never been heard before, and it's so powerful, especially for someone like the character of Salieri, to be sitting in the opera and to hear this music.
The real musicians who came to sort of play the orchestra, a lot of them would come back, and I sort of, by the end of the run, really felt like this was like my orchestra. But they were never judgmental, and occasionally I almost felt like they were cueing me. I guess like the communality of music, how it starts in a bedroom, you know, on a piece of paper or on the piano or whatever, and then it's shared with your ensemble, and then that is played to an audience. Like that feeling, I think, has been one of the most rewarding parts of this job.
Can we go from the very start with everybody? Rehearsal going on behind me for the finale of the abduction from the Seraglio. We've had 2 days to get it on its feet. Budapest is one of the great musical cities of the world. We're really privileged to be shooting here, and it means that we have access to lots of really, really wonderful local musicians and singers. I'm very grateful for this. Do you think it's going to? I think it's going to be great. Do you think it's going to be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. Great. We're shooting a whole series, so they've got to do costume fittings and makeup fittings, and some of them have wigs. clothes, all of this stuff that for musicians can feel a bit weird because we're used to like wearing a black shirt, but to have to go to a costume fitting. The folks that have been here today have all had to go through all of that just like any other actors in the show.
I'm not sure how many can understand. Translate.
Even if we have a bit of a language barrier, it doesn't remotely matter. You know, we just point to the right bar and we say, okay, I'm going to count 4 in. Okay, ready? 4, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, ba, bum, and everyone comes in. I love the fact that we just make music together. We don't get too stuck in the minutiae of language barriers, which is intensely sort of liberating.
We've found a visual language for the operas, which I only really discovered on set from hearing the music.
To get to put on, big bits of Don Giovanni and big bits of the Magic Flute, it was just a completely amazing thing to get to do. Magic Flute is slightly bananas. There's people dressed as birds, and there's the Queen of the Night who sings her fury to her daughter, so it's really an opera that visually just gave us so much to play off of.
We go in with characters and we try and experience things with characters because the story was absolutely full of life and emotion and passion. So we were running around handheld and it took all the formality out of opera. Often in the story, you find yourself inside Amadeus's head. You're seeing sounds come together. You're seeing the strips of pieces trying to make sense of how music might come together and what his process might have been.
Joe Barton's script is written in a kind of counterpoint to the historical music. It is kind of more elemental, more raw, more physical, a kind of tonic in a way to the beautifully orchestrated, incredibly rich, harmonic, melodic world of Mozart.
The character that we're portraying has music in his mind all the time. That's really the core of both his gift and his curse. The dream sequences have been incredibly satisfying to direct. Some of them are quite literally dreams, so we're thrown into the psyche of Mozart as he's asleep and try and understand what those subconscious forces are that are at play within him. And some of them are more like hallucinations in real life, like his fraying mind that sort of bleeds into moments of waking life. So there's been lots of opportunities for bold camera work and cuts that bring you from one space to another seamlessly. Almost the purpose sometimes has been to disorientate the viewer, using things that also feel very out of what you might normally see in a period show.
The music itself, as you're trying to sort of like circle in on who is this person, actually there's this whole wealth of material that is from within him. He is sort of increasingly aware of the divine in the process of creating music. As he's writing, whether it's the aria for the Queen of the Night or the overture for the Magic Flute, is there a sense of actually something is coming out of him that is bigger than him? That's been a real guiding light, I think, is that I could always go to the music to look for answers.
This is actually a piece of history that really, a true fact. Mozart said that he thought he was writing a Requiem for his own death. Whether that was a premonition or on some level his body knew he was about to get sick, there's something kind of chilling about that idea. There were some mad moments during the filming. It felt like somehow the ghost of Amadeus was speaking to us.
There's a scene where I'm saying that, people keep telling me that God speaks through me. Right on cue, on the line, there's a bolt of lightning out the window and like a thunderclap. And then I go out and there's like crows flying around and this huge storm is coming in. There was like a supermoon the day that we were shooting the Magic Flute.
The idea of Salieri watching that, I think, God, he's dead. I haven't been reaching out through the cosmos to check if Salieri's okay with what I'm doing, because I guarantee you he's not.
I think everyone has been a Salieri or maybe a Mozart at one point or other in their lives. There's sort of famous examples. There's whatever Messi and Ronaldo or, whatever drama that Ringo replaced in the Beatles. I don't know. We all know what it's like to be, oh my God, there's someone new and they're better than me and they're more interested than me.
Salieri is the everyman of the piece. I really identify with fear of not being good enough and fear of being dull. It just has to be more relatable to people than genius.
I was a huge fan of Mozart's and knew his music fairly well, but I have to say that after this project, I'm just more deeply in love with it.
You don't realise how many of his pieces you know until you sort of sit down and really listen to them, and you realise they've kind of always been there.
You hear them and you go, almost every pop song ever written is basically based on these constructions that he broke ground with. He writes music that is accessible in the best way. They get stuck in your head.